could start.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Anita and I'm from Genius Kids in San Ramon Valley Boulevard, San Ramon Marketplace, and Dublin Doherty. I will be one of your hosts today on today's show, and along with me I have my partner, Miss Ranjani, who will be co-hosting the show with me today. As you all probably know, Genius Kids is an award-winning program focusing on public speaking and confidence building. This show is a platform for all kids all over the world to participate and present their amazing public speaking skills. We will be live every Saturday on Radio Zindagi, which is 11:70 a.m. from 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. with kids from different age groups. If you want to participate in this show or want to learn more about the topics that we have for every week show, make sure you email info@geniuskidsonline.com. We wanted to take a minute and thank you so much to Ida and thank you to Radio Zindagi for allowing us to host today. We always appreciate your partnership. Thank you so much. And before we start the show, I want to pass it on to Ms. Ranjani, my partner, who's going to introduce the house rules and the show topics for today. Over to you, Ms. Ranjani.
Thank you so much, Miss Anita. Hello, everybody. Hi, kids. How are you all doing today, this Saturday morning? Big thumbs up, big smiles. Okay, great. We are so happy to have you guys on this wonderful show. Thanks for showing up every week to make the show really nice for everyone. Before we start, I'm going to introduce the topics for today. Two current topics very much happening right now that the kids are going to discuss is number one, presidents should not be allowed to challenge elections. Number two, should vaccines be made mandatory for everyone? So these are two current topics that's happening right now the kids are going to talk about today. And make sure you introduce your name and say the topic you're going to start with, and then we'll proceed with your speech. Okay, so without further ado, let's hear what you all have to say for us today with our first participant, Yash. Hello, Yash.
Hello.
You can start.
Yash.
Hello, everybody. My name is Yash. I am 8 years old and I am in second grade. Today, I'll tell you, should presidents challenge the election or no? I think so, no. And I have a couple of reasons why. My first reason is that we live in democracy. That's why we the people decide who is going to lead our country, not the president himself. My second reason is that the president might not know the complete truth about the elections. That's why he or she should not challenge the elections. Back to my first point. We live in democracy. That's why the president can also say what he thinks and feels. And if he really feels that there is something wrong in the elections, then he can say that, but in a proper way, that is filing a case in the court. If the court says yes, there is a problem, then they can do a re-election. But if the court says no, there's no problem, then the president has to accept that. If the president doesn't accept the court's decision and keeps on challenging the elections, that will misguide some people and that might cause violence and riots, which is not good for our country's democracy. My overall opinion is that no, president should not challenge the elections because it shows that the president does not trust the people of his or her country. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Awesome job, Yash. As usual, very confident speech, very authoritative, really good job. Okay, all right. And I completely agree with you. President is just one among us, right? He's no special where he can challenge things that others cannot challenge, right? So president is one among us. He shares our voice, our opinions. So he should just have the same freedom as we all do in this country. Awesome job, Yash. You said you have a riddle for us. Do you want to just ask it now, maybe?
Yeah, I'll ask it.
Okay. Miss Ira cannot wait for your riddle, so go ahead.
Why did the man put his money in the freezer? This is the most easy question.
Really? Okay.
Okay. Who knows the answer? You guys can guess.
Everybody's thinking.
Let me see. Man put the money in the freezer. Wanted to.
Priti, do you want to try? Is your hands raised?
To preserve it?
No.
That was a good answer though, Yash. Is she close?
No, it's not the answer.
Okay, maybe one more kid wants to try. How about you, Rian? You want to try? Not really.
No, I don't really know.
How about you, Miss Ida? Do you want to try? I know you love riddles. Otherwise, we'll
Impossible. I just cannot give answers to this guy's riddles.
and he says it's a simple one too. So I don't know what
He's starting
standard.
with the simplest
Rubbing salt on my wounds, Yash.
Okay, go ahead, Yash. I guess no one is as smart.
Yes, please tell.
Because he wanted some cold hard cash.
one. You want some cold, hard cash.
Really? Is that a simple one, Yash?
Wow.
Good job as always, both with the speech as well as with your riddle. Okay?
I did love the speech though. Yes, it was amazing.
Thank
Very
you.
well put.
Awesome. So let's move on to our next presenter, who is Riddhi. Riddhi, you are ready? As Ms. Ranjani said, make sure you tell us your name, your age if you can, and the topic, and then you can start. Be nice, loud, and clear, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Reethi. I'm 8 years old and I live in Pennsylvania. Today I would like to talk about, should the government force people to take the vaccine? My answer to this is no. First, we live in a country where we have rights. We can do what we want to do. Don't take the vaccine if you don't think it's safe. No one can force you to. Not me, not the government, not scientists, not anyone. Then scientists need a way to prove that it's safe. People are afraid they're going to get side effects. Instead of forcing people to take the vaccine, the government should educate people that it is safe if it's proven it can be. Vaccines are safe. But people who choose not to take the vaccine are still expected to be cautious, to be safe. And even if you yourself choose not to take it, please be careful. Respect other people's space bubbles and don't go to big gatherings. We don't want more of our country's population going down. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Thank you so much, Riddhi. That was a very interesting thought on, how to perceive the vaccine that's coming out. And I know everybody is getting vaccinated now, especially childcare workers, all the essential people. And as you said, it's important for the government to educate people on how the vaccine is safe, because we want the society to go back to normalcy as well, right? So let me ask you all a question. Things are different now. We have been quarantined for a long time, but we all want the old normal lives back as soon as possible, right? What's the first thing that you will do when everything is going back to normal?
I will probably travel somewhere.
You want to
Where
travel?
you want to
you
travel,
miss-
Riddhi? Do you know where you want to travel?
No.
Still thinking, huh? You have a little bit more time before summer comes, right? So you can think. Yeah.
Yeah. How about Rian? What do you want to do when everything goes back to normal?
I want to go see my friends, and I also want to go somewhere out of the country.
Okay,
Everybody wants
travel.
to
How about
travel, Ms.
Yash?
Ranjani.
How about Yash? What's the first thing that you will do?
First thing I would do is first have a party in my classroom, because my classroom had decided that after coronavirus goes away, they're gonna have a really big party.
Party time. Okay, how about Tori?
Well, I know that in the summer I might go on a trip if I'm good, but I don't really know where I'm going. But I might get to I don't really know.
But you also want
So
to
we
travel,
are
Tori.
like, everybody wants to meet up with friends, family, travel. So, the world has to be safe. So everybody has to be, in a place where we get the vaccine, or we try to be safe from the disease by protecting ourselves as well. So let's hope that day comes very soon. Okay, thanks so much, Riddhi. So let's move on to our next participant, and that's going to be Rian.
Hi, my name is Rian. I am 14 years old and I'm in 8th grade. Today, I will be talking about the topic, should vaccines be mandatory or not? Since March 2020, the entire world has been struck with a deadly pandemic. COVID-19 is a serious illness in where patients develop a cough and cold, which could take a bad turn and give you life-threatening pneumonia. Just in the United States, there have been 30.1 million cases, and 546,000 of those cases were deaths. Worldwide, there have been 125 million cases. 71 million of those people recovered, and 2.7 million cases tragically resulted in death. At first, children got off school and adults got a break from about 30 days. Little did we know that those 30 days would soon turn into a year. Now some students are back in school for in-person learning, but others still want to be safe in their homes, so they do virtual classes on Zoom. People are now able to go back to school and work because the vaccine has come out. The two companies that founded vaccines were Moderna Incorporations and Pfizer Incorporations. The difference between these two are that Moderna can be taken by anybody over the age of 18 and Pfizer can be taken by anybody the age of 16. Now that we got some additional information about the coronavirus vaccine, let's talk about the real question. Should vaccines be made mandatory for everyone? There is almost a vaccine for every well-known disease. The range goes from chickenpox all the way to the flu. In my opinion, they should be made mandatory. None of these other vaccines are mandatory, but the coronavirus should be, because so many people are dying every day, and some people are still going outside without masks and think that it's just a myth. When the vaccination is taken, it doesn't make it so that you are immune to it, but it lowers your chances of getting a worse strain. Every time I go to the grocery store, I see many people who try to enter without a mask, but the clerks won't allow them to enter without it. If everybody takes the vaccination, slowly and slowly the vaccine will die, the virus will die, and nobody will have to wear the mask again. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Awesome job, Rian. I think you did a really good thing by informing and educating everybody, not just us, but also so many of our listeners who's tuning in and listening to today's show. So absolutely agree with you. I just have a quick question for you. You said about two vaccines, right? One is Pfizer and Moderna. Do you know the third one that's also been approved by FDA? Do you know which one is that?
Is it Gilead Science?
It's J&J, which is Johnson & Johnson. And there's a fourth one that's almost getting ready to get the approval. Do you know which one is that? Okay, that's
No.
AstraZeneca. So sometime in April, AstraZeneca will be submitting all of their paperwork to FDA and hopefully try and get an approval if possible. So with that in the game, we'll probably have 4 vaccines, not just 2, which is going to be much more efficient, right? People have a choice. They can, I don't think you really have a choice, but at least there's going to be much more supply. And that's going to help people that want to get a vaccine, get a vaccine. So thank you so much for educating all our viewers today about what is COVID, how many people have died because of COVID, and what is the importance of getting the vaccination. All we can do, like you said, is we can only educate people. We cannot force them, right? But we can put forth our perspective and make sure everybody comes forward and gets vaccinated if they think it's safe for them.
Yeah, and hopefully with more people getting vaccinated, it'll change, the mindset of the rest of them to get vaccinated as well. So let's hope.
And I have a quick question. Anyone can participate, okay? And then I have a riddle after that too. But the question is, do you know how many people in United States have been vaccinated so far? You don't have to give me the accurate number, but a ballpark
Just guess.
should work too. Yeah.
No, I did not.
Is it Tori? Tori, do you want to try? Okay, what's the population of United States?
A few million people?
Hello. How about Yash? Do you want to try? So we have close to 300. Okay, Yash wants to try.
It's the most, I don't know.
Okay, so we have close to 300 million people in US. Okay, out of which I think the last I saw about 140 million people have been vaccinated. So is that a good number?
Close to 50%.
Yes, that's close to 50%. But remember what? Pfizer and Moderna needs 2 shots, right? So we really need to be vaccinating 600 million people, close to that, for almost everyone to be vaccinated. But you know what? We're doing an amazing job. And thanks to all the states and our president and everybody involved in getting so many people vaccinated. Okay, so hopefully that's a little info for you. And now to a riddle. Which word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it? Let me repeat the question. Which word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it?
I think I know the answer, but I'm going to wait on the kids.
Okay. Raise your hands if you know the answer so we can call on you. Yash is being quiet today. Is that a hard question for you?
Riddhi.
Okay, Riddhi.
Is it short?
Yes.
Can I
Awesome. Yeah, that's right. So short becomes shorter when you take out the E and R from it, right? So the answer is
Kind of
short.
had, yeah. The answer was in the question.
Yes. Did you guess that, Ms. Ranjani?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now moving on to our next participant here, and that is Tori. You ready, Tori?
Vaccinated should be mandated because one, you're protected after you get vaccinated and life continues normally. You can go to school and work and restaurants start opening. Two, you slow down to stop a spread of the virus because the virus can reduce sickness or symptoms. 3, you reduce the changes of virus mutating, causing more serious reducing infection. 4, you are protected. Others who can't get the vaccination. Thank you for listening to my speech.
Thank you so much, Tori. Again, importance of getting vaccinated and things going back to normal seems to be the topic of the day. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on that. And we hope everything goes back to normal very soon. I know it's been a long year for us, and fingers crossed, everybody. So listeners, if you're tuning in, this is Genius Kids public speaking program. And if you would like to participate in this amazing Conquer the Mic Voices of the Future show, please feel free to email us at info@geniuskidsonline.com or renud@gmail.com. We are live every Saturday from 11 to 11:30 and on Saturday mornings at Radio Zindagi, 11:70 a.m. with some interesting topics discussed by our future leaders in this show. So with that, let me ask one more riddle before I turn it on to the kids for their time. What are the 2 things you can never eat for breakfast? Miss Ira, do you want to try? This is very simple.
I know this one.
Okay, then it's going to be Miss Ira's turn.
But you see, my competitor Yash already has his hand up. Yash, you go ahead. You give it a try.
Okay, I don't know if this is correct, but break and fast?
No, I will. It's lunch and dinner.
Lunch and dinner. That's absolutely right. And Ms. Ranjani, I see some older kids on today's show. So if I have time, I want to ask a tough riddle for them. Okay, and this is especially for Rian. Rian, you want to try this? Okay, so you'll find me in Mercury, Earth, Mars, and Jupiter, but not in Venus or Neptune. What am I? I'm going to repeat the question, okay? You'll find me in Mercury, Earth, Mars, and Jupiter, but not in Venus or Neptune. What am I?
I know.
I know the answer for this too.
I know this one.
Okay. Girls, hold on. Let's give Rian a chance. Rian, you want to try?
You put Rian on the spot.
I know. Okay, that's okay. Ruti, you can try too. Yeah, okay. Yes,
Yeah, Yash wants to try too.
Of course.
Yes, yes.
Is it a letter?
the letter, yes. You're very close. It's a letter. Okay.
You're right. That's the
going.
Venus.
What is it?
What letter?
Yes. Go ahead.
E?
Venus has E. Come on.
Why do you think it's E? Yash? Venus has an E, right?
Venus has an E. Diti wants to try.
Is it the letter R?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But both of you, good job, Yash. And, yeah, it's a tricky question. Okay, so I know Yash already shared a riddle. So Riti, Rian, Tori, do you guys want to share a joke or a riddle or even a fun fact?
Yeah.
Or an intelligent fact too. Anything that you want to, brief our listeners and us would be great.
I've got a joke.
Okay, you want to share?
Why did the girl eat her homework?
I know this one.
Ms. Ranjani, you seem to be knowing everything today.
I'm reading up on a lot of jokes. That's why.
Yes, but let's see if anyone else wants to try.
Yes, wants to try.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you can say the answer.
Because the teacher said it was a piece of cake.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
good one.
Good one, Yash. Good job. Good job.
How about Rian or Tori? Do you guys have something for us?
I have a joke.
Sure.
What do you do when a bull charges at you?
A bull charges at you. I definitely would run.
You run? You hide?
Can you give us a clue, Rian?
It has something. It's not an obvious. It's not what you guys think it is. Like, it's not actually charging at you.
That's a good clue, but I still cannot guess.
Why don't you give us the answer?
You pay him
You pay him?
when it
Or
charges.
you pet him?
Oh,
You pay him because he's
You pay him?
charging. Remember?
At you. You pay
Charging.
him.
Got you. Okay. How about you, Tori? Do you have a riddle or a joke or a fun fact to share with us? If you don't have one, that's fine.
I have a riddle.
Okay. Everybody's ready.
Do you fix a pumpkin?
Can you
How do you
repeat that, Tori? Can you repeat that?
How do you fix a pumpkin?
Or how do you fix a pumpkin?
How do you fix a pumpkin?
Why do you need to fix a pumpkin?
What happened to the pumpkin? I'm worried about the pumpkin.
I know.
Can you give us a clue, Tori?
It's like somewhere it feels happy.
Oh, kind
Oh,
of sad. You want to make
Good.
it happy.
Oh, got you.
return
Carve
to
it.
pumpkin patch?
Yeah.
Ah,
Oh,
good one.
Good job.
Okay, I have
Breaking
a
the
question for the kids, though. Miss Anita, if you have time.
Go
I
ahead.
just
Go ahead. We have a minute.
Okay. So, kids, what's the one thing that you learned during this quarantine time? You know, one good thing that you learned during this time. Okay, I'm going to start with Tori, and you're going to tell me. What's the one thing that you learned? Because you stayed home, your habits have changed, but what's the one thing that you learned?
Are you talking about like what we learned in school?
It could be anything.
a life lesson, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
What did life teach you during the quarantine period? Did you learn any life lesson? Maybe we can come back to Tori, Ms. Ranjini.
Yeah, how about Yash?
Tori, keep thinking on the answer, okay?
Things have been different, right? So you should have changed, the way you study, or like the way you talk with your friends, because you
Change
don't
the
get to
way I
know
live.
them.
Change the way I live.
How did you change the way you lived? Can you give us one example?
It made me stay home and it never let me come out of my home.
Okay. So if you ask me, Yash, I'll probably say one thing I learned is never take life for granted, right? We were going outside, we were traveling, we were having parties, and we took everything for granted around us, right? But the pandemic taught me that I should not be taking anything for granted. Everything that I have is a privilege for me, right? And we should
Anything
be
from Rian or Ritti?
I got one. I actually, I have one that I got more time with my family.
Exactly. Yeah, we all got to spend more time with family and friends, and we appreciate them more. So
We're almost out of time, Ms. Ranjini, so maybe one more and then we can wrap it up.
I've actually started liking all kinds of food that I never liked. I never liked pizza. Now I love it.
Wow.
it's enjoying food. Nice. Great.
Thank you, Ms. Ira, and thank you, Radio Zindagi, for this awesome opportunity for all the kids around the world to participate in this show. Viewers, don't forget to tune in next week on 11:70 a.m. Saturday morning from 11 to 11:30 a.m. to watch our little kids, preschool, pre-K, and kindergarten doing their amazing speeches. Their topic is going to be National Find a Rainbow Day, or they can talk about their favorite color and 3 reasons why it is their favorite, and or sing a song for us about color. So thanks again for everybody for this opportunity, and have an amazing rest of the weekend. Bye everyone. See you next
Bye,
time.
everybody. Happy Saturday.